Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back, knowing that it's
My channel. I'm not playing with you guys. I'm not putting on kitty gloves with you. When it comes to financial freedom, in order to achieve something that you've never had before in your life, you must do something that you've never done before in your life. For a lot of us here on YouTube, I see a lot of financial YouTubers here. There is not one of us who wasn't frugal, who didn't practice frugality. Frugality is a form of struggling. It's a form of saying, you know what? I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z right now so that I can do X, Y, and Z tomorrow. And guess what? You know, when I was saving and investing, I never really felt like I was struggling. I never really felt like I was not saving and investing as much as possible. In fact, I had a surplus of income just because my lifestyle didn't really dictate me to spend more money. My car was paid off because I don't really buy things with debt. I pay off my credit cards every month since I've been alive. So I never really had to service debt. And I was always someone who was just financially responsible. I didn't buy things that I didn't need, and therefore I didn't have things that I didn't want. And so during my process of struggle, because everybody wants to know, when did you actually start to struggle? Well, it was actually when I started to buy property. It's actually when I started to buy real estate. Now, was the real estate good for me? Yes, it was. In fact, the real estate saved me money in the long run, because once you start renting it out, once you start doing all these things that you do, you actually start to save money. The real estate, the first property that I bought was actually cheaper than the rent that I was paying. Right? Now these property taxes are going up, these new property taxes. I mean, it's insane. Homeowners insurance is going up. These new homeowners insurance, it's insane. But people, like, let me be 100% real with you. And I think the real struggle came when all my savings was drained, because I literally put all my money into the property so that I could have the cheapest interest rate I'm sorry, not the interest rate, but the cheapest mortgage monthly payment possible on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And so because I put all my savings into my first property, I had no savings. I had no emergency fund. In fact, it took me working the entire month without, listen, when you're buying a house on your own money with no help, no assistance, no guidance, no nothing, and you're putting literally your every last dollar into it, the only thing you're paying for is gas. You work in a restaurant, so you're not even paying for groceries or food. Your credit card, the only thing that it took payment on was for gas for the vehicle and for your phone bill. Holy guacamole. I didn't even realize that I could go through 2 months like that. But I did it twice when I bought both of my properties, because I literally spent every single dollar I had on the mortgage to get the monthly payment that I wanted. And so, damn, that's a UPS worker, like, looking real bad. Like, what the is going on here? But yeah, guys, like, that was tough. That was struggle. And guess what? That wasn't even the hardest part for me. So the hardest part about my struggle was once you're in the house and you have no money. Nobody thinks about, wait, you gotta have furniture. Thankfully, I had this couch actually back when I was in my back when I was renting. I took this couch from the first house that I was renting to that first house that I owned to this house now that I'm also owning. So this couch has been with me as long as I've been in Ohio. And that's just not being a wasteful person. Like I said, I don't buy things that I don't need. Right? I still found a use for this. I mean, like, so some of y'all, if y'all watch my YouTube videos on my other channel, you might see this couch. This used to be my living room couch. Now it's my den area couch. Like, life has changed. Life has evolved for me. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm happy. But if you believe for 1 second that I didn't have to struggle, of course I did. People, I had to not only save money again because I had no emergency fund, but I had to have a bed to sleep on. So I had to figure that out. And then you know this generation, they say if you don't have a headboard or a headrest, then you're poor. So I had to get a headrest with the bed. I actually got an actual bedroom set because this is the house that I decided I was going to stay in long term. And then I actually bought me a nice couch because I didn't want, my family had came over previously and they were literally sitting on boxes when I first moved in. So I didn't ever want to see that again. And I actually bought me a nice $2,000 couch that's in my living room. I'm going to start shooting some films in the living room soon when I get that set up. So you guys will get to see certain parts of the house. But yeah, I mean, there were certain things that you now needed as a man, right? Like that couch I bought since 2021, barely ever use it. But again, these are needs, not just wants. And the reason why I need it is because of family. You don't want them sitting on boxes. You want them sitting on couches. And so, your lifestyle changes when you can now afford to do things that you should be able to do. And when it's not a burden on you, you're not a burden on others, right? They came to celebrate you. They came to support you. You want them to feel comfortable in doing so. And so, love those who love you by doing what you can for them. And I think without struggling, without persevering, without getting through these things, man, without all the extra stuff, it probably took me another $10,000 of furniture just for the house. This is things that people don't think about when they're buying properties. Like, the bigger the house is, the more furniture you need. The more decorations you need. The more X, Y, and Z you need. Like, there's so much more that goes into homeownership, people. And so that's where my struggle really came in. It was not in the saving of money. It was not in staying out of debt. It was not in not having car loans and all these other payments. It was when you actually use your money wisely and you're starting over from scratch, how much do you persevere so that you're not hit with an emergency? So that if your car breaks down, you actually have an emergency fund to go ahead and do it. I am blessed that every time I bought a property that I wasn't hindered with a life-altering event or life-altering decision that needed to be made. Because then what would I have done? Because I spent all my money on the real estate. Would I do that now on property number 3? No, I would not. That's why I have my emergency fund up to date. That's why I have my usable account up to date. And I would not spend money that I don't have to purchase a new property. I mean, there are properties that I wanted. I wouldn't really say I wanted them. They didn't really stick out to me that much. But I had the money to afford it. And had I used my usable account and my emergency fund, I could have afforded it. But why didn't I go for it? It's because, listen, it wasn't worth me digging into my emergency fund. I'm now in a comfortable place. It's not life or death situations. It's not I need to do this right now. And therefore, I can now think with a more clear head and not risk more than I need to risk in order to get certain things done. So again, your struggle may be different. You may struggle with credit cards. You may struggle with student loans. You may struggle with car payments. You may struggle with all these other things. But once you get out from under that, once you buckle up, once you buckle down, I was so tunnel vision, people. I couldn't see nothing else but the fact that I put myself in danger by buying these properties and not having any money in the bank. So I had to save diligently. I had to save aggressively. High risk for high reward, because the reward was my monthly payments for the rest of my life is going to be cheaper than I could have ever possibly gotten had I not put as much as I possibly could down. My monthly payment will not get any cheaper than it is right now. So that was the reward that I got and received, which now allows me to, again, save more and invest more because I took that risk and it paid off. If you do that same thing 10 times, I promise you, you're going to get burned at least twice. I did it twice out of 10 times. I don't plan on doing it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times until it actually bites me in the behind. So again, high risk, high reward situation. Now, a lot of the times I'm super tunnel vision to the fact that I don't even realize I could have called upon family for help and assistance, but that's not who I am. I'm very independent as a person. And so, yes, my family would have been there for me to bail me out. They would have been around should I have needed them. And that is a blessing in itself. But I'm not the type of person to burden people with my responsibilities. And that's exactly why I want financial freedom. Not only because I want future children, but because I don't want to burden people with my own responsibilities. In fact, I want to improve their lives through my success. In order to do that, I must become more successful, and therefore giving them $500 here, $1,000 here is not an issue. It's not even something to think about, right? So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Understand that you don't get anything out of life without a little bit of struggle. And so, if you like this, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.